Howdy, y'all. G'day again. We are almost done with 2024. Can you freaking believe that? I cannot believe it. I think it's insane. I think this year's absolutely flown by. It's kind of freaky. They just keep getting faster. Anyway, we're taking a look at some of the best and top-rated Australian posts, videos, funny things, maps, you name it. We're going to be searching all throughout different subreddits and sites to find some of the best-rated 2024 Australian topics. Let's jump into it. This is going to be a fun one. It's probably going to be longer than usual as well, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Starting out with a quick look at a Firenado. Can't say I've ever heard of this. This seems like something you would see in some over-the-top action Hollywood movie, but apparently it's real. Let's take a look. Firenado in HD. Don't know where in Australia. Clearly in the desert or the Outback somewhere. Holy smokes. What is that sound? Is that the tornado sounds that we're hearing? Oh my God. That is absolutely terrifying. That is out of a movie, right? I know it's not. It's real footage, but it's crazy to me. I can safely say I have not seen one of those in video or in person. I'm sure it's something that can happen, although I'm sure it's quite on the rare side. That is crazy. Anyone want to explain a little bit, if they know, some of the science happening behind that? I know wildfires are crazy, and they can, erupt it and change the course of all the smoke. They can affect winds and stuff. It's kind of like this vicious cycle of things happening all at once. So I suppose this is not out of the question. It's just something I've never personally seen or heard of. I have experienced wildfires in New Mexico when I lived there, but I wasn't close enough to see anything like this, although I did see the terrifying change in the sky and the smoke and the weird sunsets and all that stuff. Wildfires are just freaky in every single way, or bushfires. Very accurate. Let's see. Okay, this is like different eras. Going way back. We will make a better world for our children. We will make a better world for our children. Okay, a generation or two after that, still going. Jeez. F*** you, entitled brats. Kids, not happening. Well, let me tell you, I must have missed a memo, because I would be younger. I'm a millennial. My wife is as well. 32 years old. Already have 3 kids, a house, you name it. I guess I'm old school because, to be fair, a lot of people that we know around our age still don't have kids. And I feel like, I don't know if the stats show it or not, but I do feel like, at least anecdotally, maybe a lot less people who are younger, maybe let's say under the age of 40, they're not having as many kids or kids at all. Somewhere in this area here, right? Boomers, maybe a little bit after Gen X, right? Yeah, the attitude changed, right? There was a shift for sure. I feel like this is pretty accurate. Then there are the ones who expect their kids to be able to support them financially in retirement. How the F am I meant to do that when I could barely afford my own rent? Some people don't get that most of us are generally 2 paychecks away from being broke. I mean, that's true, right? Nowadays, we are in an absolute crisis. I think in Australia, in the U.S., I think we can kind of relate here. Things are out of control. Expensive. Cost of living is insane. The cost of housing is insane. Everything's up, and pay is not caught up at all. It is pretty freaky, and unfortunately, I feel like, it's not controversial to say, people just seem to have had, this whole dream of what you're supposed to accomplish by age 35 or whatever. They had it easier 50 years ago. At least that's what it seems like. I don't know. Call me crazy. Adding breakable objects to my game about an Australian magpie? What? This is awesome. How have I never seen this? This is legit. I love the different objectives. Collecting letters, running over and ruining sandcastles, running into people, terrorizing people, going about their day. How dare they be around the Magpie's territory? Burrito pooped on. What the hell, bro? This is insane. Wow. Bravo. That is a hella Australian video game, and I'm here for it. Needs a beach cafe where you can shit on people having overpriced coffee. Absolutely. You're going to have to include a pit bull, perhaps the Queensland premiere, to make it more realistic. Need the ability to caw on demand. There's a dedicated button for it. See, they thought of everything. Brutal but hilarious at Dragon Con in Atlanta, Georgia, here in the U.S. But if you'll look, the star of the show is, of course, cosplaying the now seems to be timeless fame of, Australia's own Raygun. Like, that went viral when this is an instant thing in the same year. Literally a couple months later, right? At conventions. This is a thing now. This is never going to end, is it? Bloody Raygun, what a nutter. Fact, the most famous breakdancer of all time is Australian. That is true. That is true. Say what you will, think what you will. You can't argue that most people can't name one pro breakdancer from anywhere on Earth except Raygun. Absolutely smashing the fame game. This was certainly a theme this year that we're still feeling. I feel this every time I go to the store. We go to the store for full-on, grocery runs. We go as a family, and we get a lot of stuff that we would need for the week or whatever. And, of course, it's a long haul, and it costs a lot. It's pretty depressing when you think about it. It adds up quick, okay? But what it hurts even more is these right here. I go alone in the morning. Everyone's sleeping on a weekend or something. They might sleep in. I'll go really early, and I'll get just a couple things. Literally just 3 or 4 things that we're running low on. I'll get that might help push us through a Saturday or something. And, of course, this hits too close to home. You grab 3 things. Should be like $5, $6 in your head. And, of course, it's $20. $20 for literally something you need one bag for. Where did our old world go? Where stuff was not anywhere near this expensive, man. Well, this brings a whole new meaning, or should I say confirmation, to a famous saying. Take a look at this. Yeah, you heard this saying right here? I'm going to let you read that. In 1859, a wealthy settler named Thomas Austin released 13 wild rabbits on his Australian estate. By 1920, their population had grown to 10 billion, with a B. Yeah, I'd say that statement, this saying, has a bit of truth to it. This was another top post. Only in Australia, a plant can cause severe pains for years. Now, we have covered this, unfortunately, many times before. This is one of the things about Australia that absolutely terrifies me beyond belief. Usually, I've heard of it called the gympie plant. Perhaps this is the exact same thing, more of a proper name, or maybe this is a different plant. If that's the case, then holy smokes, what the hell? There's more than one that are that dangerous. But of course, yeah, one touch can induce 9 months plus of intense, reoccurring, throbbing pain. The freaky thing about this is that it looks so normal here, right? It doesn't look scary. How would you see just some small green plant here and assume that it's hell on earth? Most people wouldn't. I love how it looks so plain and normal when it's actually the stuff of nightmares. I like how not only fauna in Australia hates you, but flora too. That's right. Australia plays fair. It's all surrounding you, and it's all dangerous. According to comments, this is the gympie plant. So I'm sure there's many names for it, but you know the one. Fishermen's incredible footage proves Australia's crocodiles keep getting bigger. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful overhead shot. Pretty good resolution as well. You can see this boat, multiple people on it. This thing is chilling And it's just huge. Like, if you can't understand using a boat for reference to see how big and solid this guy looks over here, just insane. Gus the penguin took a swim starting in Antarctica and ended up over 2,000 miles away from home in Australia. Now, we saw something about this recently. I think it was the same story. If not, then it was different. And whoa, that means a lot of penguins are showing up to Australia. I'm assuming it's the same one. This is a different post, but point is, an emperor penguin showing up on, an Australian beach is just wild. Like, what a wild sight, right? Of course, these are endemic to Antarctica, so this guy swam over 2,100 miles. I mean, that's kind of incredible if you think about it. I mean, look at where this thing was. Like, he started somewhere around here, down here, of course, and made its way all the way across this water, which seems infinite, right? I mean, think about swimming in water. You're so small in a body of water, and just a pool, how much effort it takes to go down and back and blah, 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 right? How is this even possible? It's insane. This one penguin just set the world record for the longest emperor penguin journey and doesn't even know it. Yeah, how did he do this? Right? What is he thinking right now? It was found by a surfer called Aaron Fowler, who just thought it was a large duck until the penguin came up to him and just waddled away. Look at this guy. He's an athlete. I mean, that is no easy task. Tried to do like a slide on his belly, thinking it was snow, I guess, and just face planted in the sand. Stood up and shook all the sand off. How cute. Yeah, this is a crazy story, and definitely one I've seen. So this is fitting for top posts of 2024. Another scary sign that you would find in the various extremely harsh and remote areas of Australia, which is basically the whole country. If you're not in a major city, that's got to get real. Remoteness warning sign in Australia. Warning, remote areas ahead. The following precautions are advised. Carry adequate fuel, water, food, current, road maps. 2, not 1, 2 spare tires, 2 jacks, a shovel, a first aid kit, toolkit, and a tow rope. Drink water at regular intervals to avoid dehydration. Travel at speeds appropriate to road conditions. Avoid night driving when wildlife and livestock may be active. In the event of a breakdown, never leave your vehicle. Do not camp in waterways. Flash floods can occur without warning. Avoid wet weather driving. Roads can become dangerous and impassable. Keep friends or relatives informed of your Outback travel itinerary. For road condition information, here's the phone number. And you can see the beautiful yet scary harsh landscape behind. Australia will always win when it comes to feeling so small in the desert or the Outback. I thought I've experienced that here in the U.S., but it does not even compare out west here to anywhere in Australia. You are truly in remote areas. Seriously, my hat goes off to anyone that has had the courage to experience parts of Australia like this. I think it's incredible, but so scary. That's a lot of text for you are exiting the map boundary. Turn back now. There's nothing out there for you. That's true. They could have just said that. Well, this guy, Gary Rohan, is an absolute, honestly, freak, in my opinion. I say that endearingly. Freak of nature, maybe. Dedicated to the sport. He's an Australian Football League forward. And, graphic image, just be warned. Training a week after he had emergency surgery on his fractured skull. That is one hell of a scar. Fresh as can be as well. And this guy's already training in Australian football. Holy smokes. What is going on with that? But you're working on Monday, right? I'm not right in the head, man. Obviously, it goes without saying, I don't think this guy's getting actual game time and, real contact. But the fact that he's even suited up and just maybe on the sideline or on the side of the practice field just doing light exercises, I think is rather insane. I doubt his surgeon or doctors would sign off on that, but what do I know? This is crazy to see and slightly uncomfortable. Now, even some of Australia's logos are the best. Take a look at this use of negative space in a logo. Yoga Australia. If you would see, you would see a silhouette of a woman doing a yoga pose. In reality, she's hiding Australia in this gap right here. How clever is that? Also, maps without Tasmania. Cries out again. Take a look at this Qantas logo that they used from 1968 to 1984. Pretty cool plane livery. You know, it looks like mostly a white plane with like a golden or orange stripe. Of course, the Aussie flag. But that famous red tail that shows a kangaroo with what looks to be, at least to me, like wings. Because kangaroo representing an Australian airline. And, of course, wings representing an airline because you're in an airplane that flies. Yeah, I think this is, like, tastefully done. Moving on to some of the best maps of the year. Remember, some of these, I feel like most of these I'm showing won't be repeats. Some of them might be just because it is best of the year. And if they are repeats, that means they were damn good and they're worth a second look. But this one is new. I've never seen this. The USA, well, at least the lower 48, East Coast, and the west coast of Australia fit together almost perfectly. I've never even thought of this. Look at that. There's the US of A. There's Australia. Look at that. It kind of works. I mean, there's some gaps in there, but use your imagination. This fits together a lot better than I would have imagined. If Australia was right there, you know, haven't you guys heard of the Atlantic River? This would be so cool. Like, I've wanted to visit Australia for so long. People asking me, come down to Australia. I'm right here. I'm in Illinois here. Can't I just drive over, hop on a ferry real quick, and boom, I'm right there? Come on, guys. That'd be so much easier. Move on up here. And we've all seen this, it seems like, a lot, but I just have to throw it on there. It's still one of the top posts of the year when it comes to maps, truly showing how remote, going back to a few posts ago, Australia really is. Look at the red. That's where basically no one is. It's most of the country. Even the orange and yellow, most people aren't living there. They're pretty remote. If you want truly concentrated population, major cities, you're in the blue, which is you have to squint to see. And, of course, those would be the major population centers. Pretty freaky, Australia is. Beautiful place. But it will really, really keep you humble. Now, this one is hella interesting. This is from, according to multiple comments here, this is in the Perth area of Western Australia. This family turns down $50 million from a developer who built a suburb around their home. They did not take that life-changing payment and move along so they could finish the suburb, but rather they stood still and had it all built around them. Take a look at this time lapse. It's pretty wild. So they were in this parcel right here. They had a big property and definitely a big house with like a outbuilding here or something, or a massive garage. They seem to be doing well already. And look, I'm not judging, but it seems like, damn, $50 million. Take that and live the rest of your life on easy mode, right? I don't know. Let's see. So you can see everything changing around them. They're stripping out the land, getting it ready, and then a giant suburb starts erecting around their house. Look at that. Whoa. I mean, that is crazy. When you see how many houses go up, and they have this giant, their property didn't look giant before. Now it does, right? Look at how many houses they fit. Holy smokes. I mean, that place is kind of beautiful. Right? Like, what is this back here? Because it looks like they might have a garage up here. They were certainly doing well. And does he keep all this mode perfectly? I'm kind of impressed. I guess $50 million just did not matter to them. They were clearly doing well. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and do it, but if you count how many houses are around just their property, wow. Wow. That's insane. Damn. This is one, I know we look at a lot of different countries, and it's hard to even generalize because, there's a lot of other, variables that always come into this. But when I look at this kind of suburbia in Australia, it seems to be one of the foreign countries that's far away, that's, most close, hits closer to home like America does, right, than a lot of other countries, because you guys do have some suburban areas and some neighborhoods like this that are just action-packed with so many houses right next to each other. And, this kind of scenario also happens in the U.S. where a developer comes along and wants to redo a whole area and all this new neighborhood, and they want to buy out your place and kick you out, essentially. Now, usually the offer is way less, right? So I understand people standing their ground if maybe it's only $500,000 or something. Would it change your life? Sure. Would it last you the rest of your life? Hell no. So maybe, people say, no, I don't need that. I want to keep our house. This is our family's tradition. We have a lot going on here, a lot of memories here. But man, when it's a big old chunk of change, like $50 million, I mean, kudos to them for standing their ground. I mean, obviously the end result is very bizarre, right? They have all these neighbors around, and they're on this massive chunk of land. I don't know. It's kind of just cool seeing a time lapse like that. And if anyone knows more about this and it would like to share, definitely let me know. Or maybe there's like a news article or something about this. I feel like this is one of those things that is actually very fascinating, because you kind of want to, hear like what their perspective is, right? And also, it's so weird seeing that landscape go from very minimal, just a couple of properties and natural land, and then just slapped with all these houses and driveways and streets. It's crazy to see. I think a lot of it, I think I forget how much things change over the course of just a decade or so. Also, where the hell are the trees, man? Australia is so hot. Perth, like Western Australia, we know it gets hella hot there. Where's the shade? Coolest place down. Now, it was only this year, where I learned about the blue-ringed octopus and how freaky it could be, how it has enough venom to wipe out 26 adults, and there's no antidote, as this title suggests. Now, I have not seen this clip. Let's see what this guy's about.
Look, it's a blue-ringed octopus. This is one of the most venomous creatures in the ocean. He's just in a tide pool here.
God, Australians are way too brave. It's only like the, most venomous octopus ever. Let's get down and crowd it, shall we?
Let's see if I can show you guys. It should be pretty chill. They're normally very mellow. Come on, mate, hop on the shell. Just want to show the beautiful people at home what you look like. Go on.
That thing is wicked looking, man. That is straight up alien to me.
There he is. Look at his rings. Whoa. He's like stretching it. Whoa.
Whoa, look at that thing change shape.
Look how crazy. This just shocked me. He's flaring them rings at me. I'm not going to attempt anything more. Okay, mate. Whoa. I did not know that they were that fast. Okay, mate. Have a bloody good one. It's lovely to meet you. Wow.
Get the f*** out of there, bro. He thinks he's Steve Irwin. Yeah, I'm afraid so. This is a fuel station in Australia with an American corner. I find that so funny. I kind of wish we had this for other countries here in the U.S. Like, why don't we have an Australian corner, right? Or a German corner or something. That'd be hella cool. But, yeah, I mean, we have huge gas stations here that sell a lot. They can work in the international section. Come on now. But, yeah, I find it so funny. I mean, it's got the whole display and, pretty accurate snacks, may I add. I mean, you can find these at most reasonably sized fuel station convenience sections here in the U.S., no matter where you're at. That is too funny. Payphones in Australia are all free. I've seen this before. I think this is wild because we don't even have these anymore. So it's not that you have to pay for them. They just don't work here in the U.S. These, of course, used to be a thing when I was little. But, yeah, these are gone. I think this is cool that you guys still have them. And, of course, that they are free. I think that's awesome. And honestly, from a safety and convenience perspective, I think it makes perfect sense. Why aren't these still a thing here? Now, this is indirectly has to do with Australia. And this is, of course, someone flying from Chile to Australia, and what they're looking out the window seeing is neither, but rather Antarctica, because that is what you have to fly over to get there. That's the quickest route from Chile to Australia. That's kind of phenomenal, right? That is something most people just never see. Most people don't, at least in America, most people don't even think of this place. And honestly, I think it's absolutely kind of freaky as well. I mean, it's just such a remote place. So cold, remote, desolate. Even more so than Australia. That is crazy to see. Wow. Can you really get any more Australian than this? A kangaroo steak shaped like Australia. Gotta love it. Also, another map without Tasmania. I'm sorry, guys. And just for the hell of it, we're going to show a couple of the top UFO posts from Down Under. Now, I think these are interesting. I think the whole UFO thing has morphed where it's not just assumed it's aliens anymore, right? I don't really think aliens are flying over our heads every other Tuesday. I think unidentified flying object should mean exactly what it means. It could be anything. It could be someone's drone. It could be a hot air balloon. It could be someone's birthday balloons, right? It's just kind of interesting to see things that you don't recognize in the sky, regardless of if it's extraterrestrial or not, or if it's dangerous or not. It's just kind of fun, right? So let's see what this one is. This is one of the top ones. Spotted over Broadwater, Queensland. Nice sounds of the water. Sounds like a fun area. Okay, it's shiny, at least on one side. This is definitely, obviously, during daytime. Perfect blue sky. Oh, what was that? That was a weird thing. You know what? It almost looks like it's free falling or getting blown in the wind. It doesn't look like an aircraft to me. Also, the way it shines, is it like a red balloon? Like a red foil balloon, you know, the shiny, like celebration balloons or birthday balloons? That's kind of, although maybe it's too big because it's far away and you can still see it. That's my guess. What do you guys think? Better quality images of a UAP spotted in Sydney, Australia, close up with the rainbow flickering lights, captured on a Nikon Coolpix P1000 with 125x ultra zoom. Couldn't focus on the object. Yeah, out of focus always is tough. I mean, of course, it's that far away. It's hard to get it in focus, but very interesting. I mean, here's the thing. It almost looks like an airplane because look at the shape of it. It almost looks like the wings are here. Here's the front, the nose, and then the tail kind of swoops up. Also, it's got red and green lights. Aren't those almost on every commercial aircraft? I don't know. That's my guess. I think it's just a regular commercial plane.
Can you take that
Whoa, that was cool.
Did you see that? Oh, wow.
Did you see that?
I seen it. Yeah, that was a big flash.
That's from Rockford, Western Australia.
I thought that was a torch. That was one thing I didn't see in my whole
That's crazy.
Make a wish, quick, make a wish.
You know what? It almost, let's see. This is broken down in slow-mo and zoomed in. Now, of course, it's going to be grainy. It's from body cam. And it's at night. Look at that. Whoa. Looks too crazy to be a shooting star. Maybe that could be a meteor, right? I saw some really cool stuff when we lived in New Mexico in the desert at night. The night sky was just incredible. I almost saw shooting stars like every night. It was insane because I never see them here. But out there is like a daily thing. But this doesn't look like that. Also, it's hard to say it's a UFO. I don't know. It's cool, regardless of what it is. It's definitely something. Now, this is cool. This is from Reddit Australia. I love that we do this. Wheelchair access to beaches are just amazing. This is really cool. I will say, though, y'all don't have the exclusivity on this. We do this in almost every beach I've been to in the U.S. as well. I can't say it for all beaches, but, yeah, this is a great idea, this right here. Glad to see you guys do it as well. These are the top posts from the Sydney subreddit. Dan Murphy's Bankstown, nice trim. As you can see, that is a sign. Let's get a look. And the tree is placed perfectly from this angle above, so it looks like his hair. Yo, that is crazy. Dan Murphy's liquor store, by the way. How cool is that? Someone chopped down a tall tree to get a better view of Sydney Harbor. So they put up a tall sign where it once was to block the view. That is savage. Whoa. Tree vandalism has occurred in this area. The Sydney Harbor Federation Trust protects and manages this land for the enjoyment of the public. Acts of vandalism like this deprive all of us of the natural environment. Damn. Saw this in Sydney Airport. This one is titled, Welcome to Melbourne. Should have gone to Specsavers. That's insane. I mean, it says Sydney back here, SYD at least. Yeah. Wow. I mean, I get it, right? Specsavers. But that would be all too weird. You know, someone's going to be hella confused when they see this. And for your information, yes, they do have Welcome to Sydney in Melbourne. So they both do it. They both do it. While flying into Sydney tomorrow for the first time, I'm glad I saw this. I might have had a heart attack. If you're wondering why the whirly bird on your roof is broken, of course, that's that spinny thing right here. Because an actual bird is up there messing with it. That's hilarious. He's getting the ride of his life. Only in Sydney, walked past a frozen block of ice in Pitt Street Mall, and some idiot got their tongue stuck to the ice. No way, bro.
Sorry.
No way, dude.
Chloe.
He is actually stuck. What are they gonna do? They gotta pour hot water or something. We may never know. Maybe he's still there. Someone go check. Wouldn't surprise me if this is part of the media PR stunt. You know, that might be true. That might be true. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Saw this incredible aurora this morning from Cronulla Beach while out with my camera. What a capture. What a capture through the lens. I'm assuming this is in the Sydney area. Just phenomenal. That looks like it looks like a different planet. Absolutely beautiful. This is also very picturesque. This is at the Gaimea train station. What a vibe, huh? What a vibe with all these falling on the ground. Pinkish purple with the green. Just beautiful. Sydney is a very pretty area. And if you needed further proof, taken on my flight back home to Sydney, look at that overhead view again. Very, very picturesque place, I'd say. Is there a city train station in the world with a better view than this one? Of course, we're still in Sydney for this. I don't know. I'm not the person to ask. I'd have to say, not likely. This is incredible. What a great view. The blue, man. The blue sky. The blue water, that harbor is just, it's just gorgeous. It's one of a kind. It really is. Now these are some of the top posts from Melbourne. Today I found a rock at Ocean Grove Beach that looked like a sandwich. That actually does. I can't say I've seen sandwich rocks before anywhere. It's kind of impressive. And it actually kind of makes me hungry. New crime fighting unit deployed at the Southland train station. I didn't know that the Ninja Turtles from Temu have made their way to Melbourne. Congrats. You got a new crime fighting unit. You guys are better protected now. Spotted at the local Italian social club. Attenzione. Attention in English. Graffiti pests. You touch our wall again, we break your hands. Comprende. Understand in English. We have security cameras and strong connections with tough Italian people. You heard him. Better watch out. Don't be touching the wall. Don't be touching any walls in Melbourne. Just play it safe. Speaking of epic photos, this one is in Melbourne. This is incredible. I do think Sydney is gorgeous, but let's not forget there are many gorgeous places in Australia. And Melbourne holding its own here. Damn. That is just a phenomenal shot. Just beautiful. Almost eerie with these colors as well. Kind of like it could be a cover of a movie or something, like a post-apocalyptic vibe. Beautiful nonetheless. Nom nom. Okay, what's this about? Okay, we got the Garbo. Grabbing, oh, nice clean scoop. Oh. And he's off. Bro, you started out so good with that clean scoop. Then you took my trash can and drove away. It had so much potential, and then it ended in just the wrong ways. All right, and finally, some of the top posts this year from just Reddit Australia. Woolworth's total amount due is more than the sum of my actual purchases. Now, at first I was thinking, okay, well, yeah, they tack on fees and taxes, but wait, we're not in the U.S. We're in Australia. You guys have that included in the price. So, therefore, what's up with this? Let's go to the comments. F me, been too comfortable and stopped calculating a decade ago. Thanks for the heads up. That's a big issue. Okay, so it's real. They are actually getting screwed. Let's add this up then. They added it up here. Thank God I just saw that. So, yeah, this should add up to around $15.70. And they're getting charged $17.90. Wow, it's not even like 10 or 20 cents off. $2.20 off. That's a lot. Whoa, that's a lot. How many times does this happen? Oof, that's not a good look. Screw that store. My scary costume. You have a new message in your MyGov inbox. Regards, MyGov team. Do not reply to this email. All right. I feel like I don't get it like an Australian would, but I sort of get it. Not the ATO trick. You're getting an audit. This is something about taxes, I imagine. Something about, like, if you get something, you get an email from them, it means you did something wrong or you owe money. So in that case, I get it. That's a scary costume. We did see this on a previous video. The CEO of Woolworths getting confronted. This was pretty fascinating. Of course, they gave a very bland, corporate, scripted response that seemed very unhuman. What do you expect from CEOs these days? But, yeah, I have featured that before. This one was, good on this person being brave enough to bring up some real problems and real concerns to, the source. So I don't know about this, but apparently a lot of Australian 7-Elevens have been bought out by Japanese 7-Elevens or just Japanese companies. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to decipher this, but I think this is in Australia. And they're getting an influx of new products and some kind of Japanese products or Japanese Aussie fusions. I don't know. It sounds kind of cool. So we have onigiri teriyaki chicken, Aussie chicken. I feel like this is pretty good, right? The CEO in Australia has said that since the buyout of our chains here, he ultimately wants to turn the experience into what the Japanese have, which in my opinion would be great. Oh, wow. That would be cool. I'd be jealous. You guys are going to get a hell of a lot more cool products because I hear pretty much anywhere when it comes to convenience stores and restaurants, cafes, vending machines, Japan's hard to beat. They got some pretty cool stuff. And of course, further proof that Australian money is superior. Look at that tough and dependable currency. Worst nightmare. It's in the wash. But thank goodness for that plastic dollar I do. I think I'm going to cut it there. We have so much raw footage here. I'm going to have to condense this down, but I'm pretty sure this ended up being a pretty long video. I think it was a lot of fun. I hope you had fun. And there's, plenty more that I could have shown here. This is kind of hard to pick and choose, but these are some of the top posts from Australia or having to do with Australia from the last year. I think that's crazy. Let's hope New Year's will be fun, and let's hope 2025 is going to be incredible for all of us. Thank you, as always, for watching. I appreciate y'all. Till next time, my name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker, and until next time, again, I'll catch you later.